Alrighty guys, we're back for some Toxic Orzhov, and this is a Phyrexia, all will be one, standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks, and any decks with red in them as well, so hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay guys, what do we got in here? First of all, this was actually a suggestion down in the comments, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one, and also there's a possibility of a turn 3 victory packed into this deck, which we'll go over in just a second. So we got 4 Crawling Chorus, just a pretty powerful 1-drop toxic creature that if it dies, it gets you a Phyrexian Mite that also has toxic, so nice. We have all 4 Skrelv Defector Mites. Even though it's legendary, we really want to see this card. It is very powerful, very crucial for the turn 3 victory combo as well. So have a couple cut downs, early removals important. Whisper of Dross is one we don't see too often. It's a 1 mana instant speed. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, then proliferate. It's actually not going to be as bad as it looks, guys. At least I don't think so, and it is also a part of the turn 3 victory combo, which again we'll go over in a second. We got 4 Jawbone Duelist, very powerful toxic creature that we see popping up in all the Selesnya toxic builds, and it obviously pairs very well with the Skrelv Defector Mite, and of course is a part of our turn 3 combo. We have 4 Anoint with Afflictions, a very powerful piece of removal. Exile target creature if it has mana value 3 or less, which honestly hits a lot already, but then it has Corrupted where you exile that creature instead if its controller has 3 or more poison counters, which is going to be very easy to get to in this deck. I have a couple Blightbelly Rats here. It's just a 2 mana 2/2 with Toxic 1, but when it dies you proliferate, which is awesome. We have 4 Drown and Ichors, just more pretty decent removal. This one's sorcery speed, which holds it back a little bit, but not really because it also has Proliferate. Nice. We have 4 Necrogen Communions. This is a 2 mana aura, and the last piece of the puzzle for our potential turn 3 victory. The enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature has Toxic 2, and when enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield. Return that card to the battlefield under your control. So overall, it's a pretty powerful aura. So here's the combo. Actually, let's finish going over the deck first because we only have a couple more cards. We have 4 Annex Sentries, powerful toxic creature that acts as early removal as well, being able to exile something with mana value 3 or less. It's kind of like Brutal Cathar, but you know, mana value 3 or less. And then we have a couple of Vraska's Falls in here as well. 3 mana instant speed, each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and gets a poison counter, so nice. In the meta base, guys, I am rocking a Thran Portal because I'm a little bit concerned about getting early mana in this deck, and I really want to see that turn 3 victory. And we're playing pretty slow lands like Shattered Sanctum, which sometimes it's going to have to come down on turn 1 or 2 because we're only rocking the 22 land. So we'll see if Thran Portal does something other than just deplete our life total, right? Obviously, Abandoned Mire and Seat of the Empire as well. Okay, turn 3 combo, right? So turn 1, you get Skrelv Defector Mite down, okay? Turn 2, play your second land, get Jawbone Duelist down, swing with the Skrelv, hopefully getting through. You know, at that point, the opponent definitely could have played a blocker, which might already ruin this, which is why you might want to swing before the Jawbone Duelist, but that's pretty risky if you're swinging into something because they probably won't anticipate any amount of like combat trick. However, you do kind of have a combat trick in here with Whisper of Dross on your turn 2, but then that completely defeats the purpose of the turn 3 victory. Anyways, okay, on turn 2, you swing it in with Skrelv, you get that poison counter through, and then you play your Jawbone Duelist. On turn 3, you play your third mana, hopefully. You drop Necrogen Communion on the Jawbone Duelist, which gives it another Toxic 2, so it's up to Toxic 3. You activate the Skrelv Defector Mite by paying life onto the Jawbone Duelist. Choose whatever color your opponent's playing, right? So now it has Toxic 4, okay, and the double strike. You swing on in, it hits for 4, poison, and then it hits for another 4 poison. So now your opponent is at 9 poison total because you swung with the Skrelv the turn before, And all on the same turn 3, you drop the Whisper of Dross to proliferate the last poison counter onto the opponent. So the deck could definitely be like hyper aggressive, and I'm very excited to actually try it out. And I think it can actually survive into the mid game as well because of the Necrogen Communion. Whenever your opponent decides to take out some of your creatures and then you end up just bringing them back to the board, it kind of sounds disgusting overall, doesn't it? Okay, honorable mentions. We have Skull Dweller over here. Skrelv's Hive didn't make the list mainly because it doesn't pair beautifully with the Communion. You'd rather have an actual creature to attach this to, like the Blightbelly Rat, for example, instead of creature tokens, although I could still see Skrelv's Hive doing a thing in here, right? The Siphoner also almost made the list, but I do like the Blightbelly Rat's Proliferate a little bit more here. Since we have a lot of cards that proliferate in the deck, a Planeswalker like Liliana could be pretty awesome, but not this time round. And instead of Thran Portal, I almost put the Seed Core in here, but I don't really know. We don't have too many creatures. Now, the Seed Core could cast all of the creatures in the deck because they are all Phyrexian, but we do have a lot of non-creatures that also need that mana, so I think the Seed Core would end up not working out in our favor. So yeah, I really wish Orzhov had some more fast land, but yeah, like I said, I think Thran Portal will be fine. Hopefully. Alright, enough rambling about the build, guys. It's a relatively simple one, huh? Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. Alright, we'll see if we can get right into that first match here. Yes, we do. Nice. So, 2 times yesterday while I was getting back up to Platinum, it ended up waiting for the opponent for like over a minute, and then I got into the game and it was an instant draw. And that happened 2 times yesterday, so I don't know what that was about, honestly. Okay, Shattered Sanctum being a little bit slow here, but I don't think this is a mulligan necessarily. Like, what are we going to be mulliganing into? You know what I mean? It could be much, much worse than just some slow land. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to go Skrelv here and keep the cut down open. How do you guys feel about cut down? Actually, we'll just play the Crawling Chorus and go for a trade when they swing. And then we actually have the decision to just take the damage too, depending on what they play here. Got an Infernal Grasp for the Skrelv, and we'll take that trade now. Nope, they do not want that trade. Okay, so let's go ahead. Shattered Sanctum. I mean, we can swing. We have Cut Down, we have the Drown. I guess we'll swing, see if they take the trade on this end instead. Nope, they're going to take the poison. I'm going to keep the Drown, keep the Cut Down available, and get the Blightbelly Rat down. Which is actually not a terrible trade for the Skull Dweller. Another Swamp? I was kind of hoping for like a weird mirror match right out the gate, you know? Oh, man. Okay, Drown and Ichor does deal with the Flesh Gorger, luckily, so... Probably swing into this, and then we just cut it down. I don't think we want to lose the rat. Oh, well, we'll still do the cut down. Then we will drown the Flesh Gorger. Another land. Running out of cards over here, guys. I am sure. Take action. Submit 1. Get some more poison damage through. A lot of great removal in this deck. At this point, my hope is, okay, another land isn't great. Okay, so the Proliferate on the Blightbelly Rats might be enough, and I don't need to actually play this Plains. Let's just keep it in hand in case they think it's something else. I don't know what they would play around at this point, but if it's like an Invoke Despair, then we just ditch the Chorus, and we get another Toxic Creature back. I mean, we could also ditch a Rat and Proliferate, but that doesn't make much sense to me at all. Yeah, the opponent needs to like remove everything and exile the rat so the proliferate doesn't happen, and then we just need to draw land for the rest of the game. But technically that is all possible, so the biggest issue with them removing everything, oh well, the double proliferate, and then we get the 1/1 back. Nice. Nice. Hey, GG opponent, and we drew a Whisper of Dross for another proliferate. Nice, good draw. Beautiful. Beautiful first game. I don't exactly know what the opponent was running there. Looks like mono black, and they were potentially experimenting with the Skull Dweller as a 1-drop in mono black, right? Not 100% certain, but that could be interesting. Honestly, there's how many cool black 1 and 2 drops popped up from the new set? I have to go back and look at that, because there might be like a way to put together, because a lot of the mono black right now is super mid-range. So I wonder if there's a cooler way to put together a mono black aggro list, you know? Something with more 1 and 2s. Okay, well, we go first. This is decent. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Get our turn 1 down. Who knows, man? Maybe we will see that turn 3 victory today. I feel like it's not too bad to actually get to, so. Get that swing in. Skrelv doesn't have haste or anything fancy, so we'll keep the cut down open. Nice. A lot of great reasons to have cut down in here as the removal, huh? Looks like Skrelv is going to bite the dust again. Oh, well, we'll be able to recast it. That's good news. We can actually play it out next turn if we wanted to, but honestly... Ooh, the Blightbelly Rat's pretty good too. I think it's the Communion and keep cut down open again. It's a lot more poison going through, and then when the chorus dies, we get it back. I mean, that sounds good to me, because just more ways to get the Phyrexian Mites onto the board. Cut down does not hit that, unfortunately, but Anoint with Affliction does next turn. Alright. Jawbone Duelist is great. Let's get the slow Gurk off the board and get a terrific swing in, though. Did they have any? They did not have any. I didn't even check beforehand. They have 7 total poison already, and we still have that cut down available. It's too bad the Skrelv got removed early on here, which was a great play from the opponent. Getting the Skrelv off the board early on was very important. Because, yeah, giving that extra toxic to the Crawling Chorus every turn, that could have been even more devastating than what we're seeing right now. So what's interesting, though, is if they do have another Soul Partition, since it exiles it, we wouldn't get either abilities from the Chorus or the Communion. Wandering Emperor. Wait till they target it and then cut down our own Chorus, and that's pretty good. It's really good, actually. Nice. Make sure we get that death trigger. Yeah, GG opponent, GG. Let's go, guys. Couple great first games. I'm always satisfied. Heck yeah, I had fun. Oh, man. Alright, let's keep going. Let's do this. Getting our daily wins in. Nice, nice. Oh, man. Yeah, the big thing is I hope whatever was going on yesterday when I was climbing back up to Platinum doesn't happen again, where, yeah, it was just taking forever. Like, it was just waiting for the opponent forever. And then all of a sudden we'd get into the game and it was an instant draw. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we saw how powerful the Crawling Chorus Communion can actually be, so... Jawbone Duelist is great to get down on 2 as well, because maybe we can get the Communion on that. They got their own Jawbone Duelist. Maybe we just... Maybe... Well, we can't swing into that now, but... Yeah, we'll get our own Jawbone down, I suppose. It seems like the best bet would be to remove the Duelist and then swing, but... But something's telling me to just play our own Duelist instead. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't really know. We don't want to use the Drown yet because there's nothing to proliferate. Do we have like enough mana to... Alright, let's see about taking some poison here and see what they end up playing, because if they just play a creature thinking they were going to block, then we have that removal. Rock Priest, yep. Oh, look! They're splashing black in here, guys. Okay, we got our Skrelv. That's good news, I suppose. Skrelv doesn't have the haste. We'd want to hit the Rot Priest first. We're taking some good damage here. Or poison damage. You have to be a little bit cautious. Alright. How do we actually... How do we get through? Because they trade here, right? If we target Duelist first, then we could get a swing with our Duelist. But we're taking more poison then. Alright, let's go more poison. I apologize, opponent. I am thinking. Because they probably let our Duelist go through now. Was the thought process there. So we get that poison in. Oh. Oh. That was not what I was expecting at all. So we still don't have that poison through now. I was not expecting them to just ditch their Rot Priest. Okay, hold on. I'm thinking, opponent. Now, like, we have the option to get Skrelv down. We could drown the Duelist, but then we still don't get the Proliferate bonus from that. But getting a creature off the board doesn't seem too bad. We go Communion onto the chorus here. We could successfully block, but, you know, yeah. I don't know. That was such a bizarre block. In my head, that was going through. In my head, that was going through, like, no matter what. So I have, yeah, I guess another Rot Priest is in hand. We should chump while we can. Nah. We're fine. We're fine. The worst thing they could do is play another Rot Priest and another Duelist. Like, that was potentially one of the worst things they could have played for us last turn, too. So, if they have that again, then a wow, you know? Match up. Hey, that's pretty cool, man. That is awesome. Dude, I like that, opponent. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to skip out on some of the Proliferate unless we want to get the Crawling Chorus through using the Skrelv's ability, but they have white and green here, so... Dude, patch up? Oh man, that is cool stuff. That is cool stuff. Alright, well... I say... we have to remove stuff off their board, right? I'm sorry for taking so long, opponent. I'm sorry, buddy. Gonna do 3 other mana here, so we can do this successfully. We'll call green. And then, unfortunately, miss out on the... There's actually another way to do that. We could have called white. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not playing this one out well, guys. I apologize. Submit 0. I definitely apologize. Because if we would have done that a little bit differently here, we would have taken a lot less poison. And at this point, we're gonna probably just die next turn. So if we would have called white, here's what we could have done. We could have swung, and then they would have potentially blocked with the Rot Priest to take out the Crawling Chorus. Yeah, I'm assuming we are dead here with some Proliferate. Wow, another patch up. Dude, that is brutal. Oh my goodness. That is brutal stuff. Yeah, no, we're dead. We're super duper dead, especially since I didn't even play that out that well too. We can't even like successfully get through, so we'll just call, I guess we'll call white so the first strike at least doesn't hit us. But yeah, if they would have blocked with the Rot Priest, we did have the potential Whisper of Dross to hit the Rot Priest with. So yeah, that could have gone a lot of different ways. Wow, that was just brutal stuff, huh? So the Crawling Chorus comes back, we get a chance to block, but there's just no way. There's no way. Also, they could just full swing too, since we're at 9 poison already. And this can't block, so. The double patch ups, guys, we gotta consider patch up for this deck. We really do. Good game opponent. I apologize, guys. I could have played that one out like way better, and I was definitely overthinking most of that. I don't know why my brain wasn't processing it. Usually I have a little bit more faith in my brain to process things, but yeah. It was struggling. I was trying my best to think of how to get that poison through before activating the Proliferate, which is probably the biggest downfall of that entire match. I should have just been okay with dropping the removal. Man, but that, even when we were dropping the removal, them being able to just bring 2 creatures back for 1 card. We don't have a black source here, but I'm not too concerned since we have a 1/2 and a 3. And we unfortunately aren't set up for our turn 3 victory combo either, but that's okay overall. We will actually swing and not worry about removal from the opponent. I was thinking like we could keep Skrelv open to have that ability to spare the Duelist from spot removal, but it's like, ooh, nice. Actually gets passed back to us anyways here. They didn't play anything. Annex Sentry would be great if this was like a soldier list that we had to clean up. So as soon as we target the Jawbone Duelist, they're going to have that spot removal available for it. But I don't think that means we don't try it. It's either 3 or 4 poison. Actually, I guess that does mean we don't try it. I guess we just swing. Because it's still 3 poison getting through, as opposed to 4 if we activated the Skrelv's ability. And doing it this way, nice. Actually gets through. That's good. Annex Sentry not hitting anything makes me a little bit sad, but getting a counterspell out of their hand could be pretty decent too. We really need to see our black source then. Oh, nice. The Annex Sentry might just hit, and then at that point, they need some early, like, form of board wipe, because just removing the Duelist might not be enough here. Well, it might be if we don't see a black source, but temporary lockdown might be a thing. Do we have any ways to deal with temporary lockdown? I don't think we do, actually. March hits the Duelist. Oh, nice. We got our black source. Nice. This is terrific, guys. So we might as well just swing with both. That's 6 poison damage. Anoint with Affliction's great. Vraska's Fall is pretty good if they drop like a Wandering Emperor or something. Could also play our second Skrelv to have open for that bottom ability, but I don't think we need it right now. Yeah, this sure feels like a Wandering Emperor, huh? Alright, let's see it. Blightbelly Rat. It's a good draw. We full swing because swinging with one creature into Wandering Emperor is definitely not the play. Oh, wow. Up to 8 poison. Get the Blightbelly Rat down. Blightbelly's a good one to have. If they do find that board wipe that kills everything, at least we get that proliferate through, you know? And then we just need to play the Vraska's Fall next turn. Successfully, of course. Mind Splice Apparatus. Okay. I guess this is the White Sun's Twilight deck, right? That we've been seeing every now and then. It's a little bit rare. It's a little bit of a rare build. Oh, they really need to find removal. Oh my goodness, GG opponent. Wow. Wow, I mean, when this deck knows how to get the poison through, it really knows. And I feel like overall, we were having a pretty slow hand, but it looked like the opponent's hand was a little bit slower, missing a lot of removal. Only seeing that one march. Nice, guys. I mean, we're doing terrific. I'm a little bit concerned about going up against another toxic deck, but I promise I'll do better this time. I will not just hold my proliferate cards back. And we really got to talk about, man, the opponent was playing... What was that card's name again? Was it Patch Up? Man, that looks so good in a deck like this. Uh-oh, guys. A little bit of a slower hand here, and we go first, but... Keeping a cut down open on turn 1 isn't like the worst. And sometimes, wow, I just tried to play the cut down as a 1-drop creature. That's how you know what type of decks I play. My goodness. Alright, we'll play the second swamp. I really hope... Ooh. It's rocking the same colors as that other... Wow, you know, Annex Sentry hits that Bank Buster, which is pretty cool. Let's hit it. Of course, this is the type of deck that runs way too much removal in it, but, you know, gotta get our creature down. And at this point, it would be really good if it survives the turn so we can get the Communion on it, too. I forget what this color combination is right now. Oh, Abzan. As soon as I said that. Literally as soon as I said it. Drown's pretty good. They probably... Honestly, what do we do? Hold on. Let me think. We could ditch the cut down, get rid of Trespasser with the Anoint with Affliction. Mana value 3 or less. And then use this. Get the Sentry. Nice and equipped. Is that worth it? 2 cards for 1 with Trespasser is always such a pain. But, like, it might be worth it. Maybe we ditch the other Communion. No, I want to keep it. I want to try something. 3 poison coming through. We'll see, man. Like, we have, like, no cards in our hand now, so... Graveyard Trespasser will do that to you. We could have kept it on the board for a little while longer. They potentially would have swung with it. I don't really know. Oh no, Wandering Emperor. No, stop it. Stop it, Wandering Emperor. Yeah, so the Communion doesn't give us anything because it was actually exiled. And now we are in some serious trouble because we drew another mana there. There was not a lot we could do against exile removal, unfortunately. Communion showing a little bit of a weakness there, went up against a Wandering Emperor style build. We can actually hit that, so that's good news, I guess. We can still actually hit that with the Drown. They have the draw open on the Bank Buster. Anoint with Affliction's pretty good, but not being able to get a creature down to deal with the Wandering Emperor sooner is pretty bad. Okay, they're up to 4 poison. And we need to figure out a way to actually... I mean, 6 more poison, that seems a little bit too much. Once a... I was gonna say a control... control style deck, but actually I just don't know what this is. This is mid-range, I guess. Abzan mid-range, which seems pretty scary. We really need to see a creature here for sure, but even then... Ooh, nice. Annex Sentry's a terrific draw. So we'll pick up the 2/2 here. I mean, we could take the Bankbuster too, again, but nah. Hitting tokens with this is probably best case scenario. Seeing that, yeah, Abzan midrange is definitely the style of deck that just has way too much removal packed into it. Too bad this doesn't have flash too, like just being able to flash that down would be insane. Alright, we'll try to get this on. Nice, nice. So it has 3 toxic total. Wandering Emperor is still a pain, but if they don't have a creature and they just plus on that 1/1, I mean, they're not going to swing with it, and they're going to get another 1/1 from the other wedding announcement. So the Anoint with Affliction isn't enough to get another 3 toxic through here. Armored Scrap Gorger, sure. Another Bankbuster. It's not removal, so... Yeah, they're gonna get another 1/1, so I'm trying to think... Oh, not a land. Not a land, guys. There's only 22 in here. So we can ditch the, Well, yeah, we can hit Scrap Gorger. Is that the hit, though? Probably not. I mean, anything blocks the Annex Sentry right now. And then they have the -2 on the Wandering Emperor immediately after. Yet we can't swing into this. We're getting too late into the game for our deck to actually do too much, so we'll see, we'll see. It does look like the opponent's deck is the type of deck that knows how to close out games as well, so I'll give them a chance to actually close this out before just conceding too, especially since you guys know me. I like to see what's on top of our deck. But a couple Bankbusters, a couple different ways to crew them up and everything. The Anoint with Affliction does take care of one of them, though. Losing 2 cards to Trespasser isn't as bad as it looks. Like, losing the extra cut down, I mean, what would that have done for us overall? Especially if their Trespasser was still allowed out there. I guess we could have ditched the extra planes and... instead of playing the Communion that turn, just played nothing else and kept the cut down open. That could have actually been pretty decent now that I'm thinking about it, but alright, let's remove this Bankbuster instead of taking 5. I can't imagine, like, the only better hit is the other Bankbuster, and hitting any of these is meh at best. The Wandering Emperor being at 3. So a card that I'm thinking about for this list, actually, and it might not make too much sense. Well, it depends, actually. I'm thinking about the Angel from the last set that it's a 3-drop, and I literally play with it all the time, so I don't know why I can't remember the name. Actually, Annex Sentry is a pretty good draw, but they're wide enough. They're wide enough here to not really worry about anything. We'll take the 3/3 human over here, I suppose. I suppose. Anyways, that Angel that gives you potentially flying or lifelink or vigilance, right? If we could fly in with something like this, that sounds pretty good. That would be a good top deck in here too, and Go for the Throat doesn't hit it because it's an artifact creature too. So I have 2 3-drops that I really want to talk about in the honorable mentions. So yeah, the Wandering Emperor really locked this board state down. We're going to go one more draw. I want to get more matches in, and I think that the deck is fast enough to potentially give us 2 more matches, even though we're 34 minutes in already, so I do want to give it a shot. We're going to take it all. We could actually find... No, yeah, since we're over here top decking. We're just gonna take it all. I was gonna say, if we find removal that proliferates, like hit the Scrap Gorger, proliferate up to 5, then we have 4 poison on the board. Yeah, but they can just continue to go wide, and they had the Bank Buster over here too to draw more. They didn't play anything this turn either, so if they swing with lethal damage next turn, we'll go ahead and take it. As one of the most annoying quests is actually the one where you have to attack with creatures, because whenever you get to the point of being nice and wide, yeah, GG opponent. That is tough. We actually had a lot of slow cards this game. All 3 Annex Sentries, which is funnily enough, funnily? Is that a word? Man, words have been sounding weird to me today. Anyways, funny enough, that's our top end. Annex Sentry, which tells me we could go down to 21 land as well. Unless we end up adding some of those other 3 drops that I want to talk about too, so. I don't know, man. It honestly, it does feel like there's something here. And when we got the suggestion down in the comments, I'm just taking it, wrap up this game, opponent. Good game. Good game. So, anyways, yeah, when we were talking about this down in the comments, saying like, there's actually a lot of potential, I see it. I totally see it. There really is a lot of potential here for Orzhov Toxic. And matches like that tells me, like, okay, well, we obviously got to wrap up the game before we get to that mid game. It is an aggressive deck, right? So how can we do that? How can we push it even further into the early game and still try to win by turn 4, you know? See, kind of another slow hand. We do have a lot of 2 drops in the deck, so we can't blame it too much. We do go first. That is excellent. All right, we're going to give it a shot. Going to actually start with the swamp. They play a creature, will full control. Oh, no creature. Okay, get the Jawbone Duelist down and hope that it doesn't get instant removed, because this hand is not looking great if they just instantly remove that. Okay, well, they could easily have a cut down available. It doesn't mean we don't try this, though. Woo! Woohoo! Look at that! Nice, thank you, opponent, thank you. 6 poison right out the gate. We have 3 cards in hand that proliferates. We get our Duelist back down. Oh no, it exiles! Oh no, not this again! The exile, guys! Again, Communion showing its weakness against the exile effects, but most cards like that do that anyway, so. What do they want here? Just find more cards probably, right? Alright, well, we will drown that in Ichor. And keep the cut down open. Submit the 1. Up to 7 poison. Yeah, early on you want to get as much poison through as possible, so this one is actually very possible to win. Now that we are going into the mid game, the opponent's getting the 5th mana down. Luckily it's tapped. At that point, like, we can still get there because we got so much poison through early on.
So this is my all right, little buddy.
Nice, another creature we can hit, and we're gonna hit it with the drown over the cut down this turn. And we actually have a creature to play too. That is beautiful. Submit 1. Get the Blightbelly down. That is awesome, guys. So now if this dies, we proliferate, which again, I guess, you know, there is a lot of exile removal floating about, and this is another deck that could run a Wandering Emperor too. Can't attack or block, okay. So we could potentially win by cutting down our Blightbelly Rat and dropping a Drown and Ichor on one of their creatures. Which is probably why they don't want to get a creature down. Oh, Sheoldred's Edict, but then we get the Proliferate on the Rat, so they don't want to do that either. Thran Portal, oh no. Well, I guess we drown and Ichor our own Rat and hope that they don't counter it. They have blue open. They have Soaring City in the build. We'll go ahead and get Thran Portal as that. And here goes nothing. Here goes nothing, guys. We should try it. We really should. Because the more the opponent draws, the more they could just draw more counter spells or something ridiculous, right? So, 9. That's it. That's it. 10. Let's go, guys. We're 40 minutes in. Right about there is where I would usually quit. But I'm feeling one more. I think the deck is super fast, and we still didn't get that turn 3 victory. Which, let's be real, that's going to be very, very difficult to pull off. Even though the combo's in here, it's going to be very, very difficult. You never know. Maybe it's here in the last match. Let's see it. Opponent goes first here. A couple Jawbone Duelists. Our combo is not in hand, unfortunately, but yes, this is keepable. A couple Duelists is pretty good. All the mana we need for the entire game. Guys, what if we actually pull off? We still need 2 more cards, but we're going to get a couple more draws. Oh no, it's just an Annex Sentry. But, oh no, next turn, we would need all the cards in hand as of next turn's draw. I got a little bit excited there, honestly. And Skrelv with Jawbone Duelist, since we don't have the combo, we're actually just going to keep this open. I guess Skrelv is probably going to bite the dust, actually. Okay, no, we'll keep this open then, to protect the Duelist. Instead of attacking. It's completely fine. So you get to choose that color. A target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color until end of turn. Can't be, oh, I thought they were targeting something there, but now they're filtering. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. So yeah, it's just a potential way to give the Jawbone Duelist Hexproof from a color. Which seems a little bit better than getting 1 poison through. Unless we had the combo in hand, then I would have risked it. I would have risked everything. Oh, man. Ah, jeez. Well, that hits everything regardless. This doesn't give indestructible, so... Brotherhood's End is very, very bad for us. Oh, Communion. Alright, let's get Caves down. Jawbone Duelist number 2. It doesn't look great for... Oh my goodness, it's Atraxa. It is an Atraxa Reanimator build, guys. That's not good news at all. Vraska's Fall hits that beautifully. I'd love to get the Necrogen Communion down this turn too, but... As much as I'd love to do that, getting that Flesh Gorger out of here and then getting a good swing of poison through is very important when the opponent is rocking so much removal, and they could potentially bring Atraxa back next turn. So, nice. Don't have a 5th mana. So Annex Sentry hits the Flesh Gorger because it's 3 mana. So we want to play this as a land. Annex Sentry. Take 3 damage. Take action. Communion. On the Duelist. Woohoo! Up to 9 poison, guys. 9 poison. All we need is to draw one of our Proliferate cards, which is a lot of cards in here. What, 8 total, right? There might be more. Oh, 10 total with the rats, but you have to actually have the rat on the board too. Another Brotherhood's End doesn't hit everything. We're just gonna go Whisper of Dross on the Annex Sentry and Proliferate because it's safer than swinging, I would say. How do you guys feel about that? Because if they end up countering the Whisper of Dross with their 1 blue from the Xander's Lounge, it's a go for the throat, but then I guess they didn't have anything else because... So go for the throat on the Sentry. Oh, Sentry's an artifact. They could only go for the Throat the Duelist. Oh, yeah, just another reason to play Infernal Grasp, I guess, but I understand completely why people are still playing Go for the Throat, 100%. It is still a very solid piece of removal. Well, I am hey, nice. I already have all 4 of them, but that's pretty cool to hit. Okay, guys, Toxic Orzhov. Here's the deck list again. This was a really fun one, very aggressive, very fast, but if you don't see it fast, then you're gonna lose. And that's kind of how it is. That being said, if you do see it fast, so you don't have to see all of it fast. Does that make sense, right? If you just need to see a good chunk of it fast. So get the opponent up to 7 poison counters by turn 3, and you're probably pretty good from then on, because you got the Drown and Ichor to proliferate, you have the Whisper and Dross to proliferate, Vraska's Fall gives you poison, you have the proliferate on the Blightbelly Rat as well, you know, to keep you alive for longer. You have the cut downs and the anoints, and other than that, yeah, you're trying to be as aggressive as possible. I do like all 4 of the Skrelv mites, by the way. If you're sketched out because it's legendary and you go down to 3, I guess it won't hurt too much. I do like having all 4, especially since today we were really trying to see that turn 3 victory. Didn't see it though. You know, having 4 of the cards in the combo is a lot of cards to see right at the beginning of the game, and then everything has to line up where your opponent actually lets your Skrelv go through and they don't have removal next turn. You get the Communion down, you get the awesome swing, and then you still have the Whisper. Like, there is so much to ask for in a turn 3 victory, but it's possible, and it is in the deck. We didn't see that Thran Portal do anything today. I still think it's going to be fine. You don't really care too much about your life in this deck, especially since everything's happening so fast anyways. So if you do see this early on, if anything, it'll just hopefully help you play out your earlier things. So instead of relying on a tapped Shattered Sanctum or something like that, you know what I mean? I really liked this one, guys. I wouldn't change too much, honestly, but we did have a couple cards that we wanted to talk about here. One is one that I can't remember the name of for the life of me. So, oh, there it is, Steel Seraph. Oh my goodness, I play with this card so much. I couldn't remember the name. Has that prototype 3? It could be pretty cool as a 2 of on the top. I like that it's an artifact because, yeah, Go for the Throat is like the removal in everyone's deck, and so not being able to hit the Steel Seraph is huge. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains your choice of Flying, Vigilance, or Lifelink, and giving Flying to one of our Annex Sentries that was equipped with the Communion could have completely changed that one game, and so Steel Seraph as a 1 or 2 of on the top end could be really cool. A little bit unnecessary though from what we've seen. It will probably just end up slowing the game down big time. And what was the other one? Patch Up. It is a sorcery speed. The opponent completely wrecked us with 2 of these, and I could see adding 2 of them in here. So, sorcery speed for 2 and a white. Return up to 3 target creature cards with total meta value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I'm sorry. Why have I been sleeping on this card? There are so many cool little decks that could actually use this. Now, that being said, we did see a lot of exile removal today too, and so not having cards in the grave makes patch up very bad, and if you end up seeing both of these in your opening hand, you're probably crying a little bit because now you're not going to be able to be fast enough. So maybe a 1 of. I could see a 1 of, right? Return up to 3 target creature cards from with total mana value. Oh, so that's the thing, right? Total mana value. So you could bring back 1 Annex Sentry potentially to act as removal, or you could bring back Jawbone Duelist and your Skrelv and start setting up your combo that way. Yeah, no, I totally see why the opponent was running this, but in this deck in particular, I would probably only have a 1 of. What would I end up dropping? A land. That's it. I would drop a land. Down to 21 would totally be fine. We kind of flooded out a couple of the games, more than you want to see. 4 mana is probably the total that you want to see in this deck, although there are going to be some cases where 5 mana is good. You're still going to see 5 mana if you have 21 land in here. So, you know, if you wanted to be able to play out an Anoint with Affliction and a Vraska's Fall in the same turn, which, you know, it's not going to happen too often. Again, we're trying to be very fast. Okay, guys, hey, we're 50 minutes in, so enough rambling. I really enjoyed this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. It's relatively budget too, right? I think it is relatively budget. There aren't too many rares. The Skrelv is rare. Huh. And the mana base, right? Oh, nice. Yeah, relatively budget, guys. That's cool. I mean, yeah, the mana base is pretty expensive, but that's awesome. I didn't even think about that. Okay, hey, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.